Final minute of practice here as we are ready to get started with the medal round in the women's doubles here at the World Championships at Sunset Station's Strike Zone Bowling Center. I'm Lucas Wiseman from USBC, along with men's doubles world champion from yesterday, Chris Barnes. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Lucas. How are you?
Pretty good. Congratulations on the doubles title yesterday with John Cervinski. It was a very interesting final. You guys had a nice 569 game, which we have now learned is the second highest in the history of the World Championships, behind a 599, which was in a qualifying back in.
Timing is everything.
Yeah, that's right.
And we did that well. We were truly a doubles team all the way through. We didn't bowl well at the same time very much until the very final match, but we covered each other very well, probably throughout qualifying and then the semifinals.
So, Chris, you are well versed to talk about the lane pattern that they are bowling on today, which is the 39-foot sole pattern, the medium pattern. And you guys obviously found them to be not too difficult, but what do you see out here for the women? They may have broken them down a little better today than the men did, and they actually scored higher than the men did.
Well, certainly in some respects on this sole pattern, the gutter actually hooks more on this pattern than on the 33-foot Sydney pattern. But the one main difference in how scores progress throughout the day is how much faster guys want to move left, and maybe even in some respects how few guys can really play outside of 10 like they're supposed to on this pattern. And so as they move left, then the pattern kind of deteriorated in the middle games for the guys and then got better in games 5 and 6, but games 3 and 4 they struggled. It seemed like the women didn't have any struggles at all. They started off fast and furious, and then they just kept building off of that spot. So girls like Kelly will play like 10-12, which is like what John did basically during the matches, especially in the medal round. And then some of the players with a little bit lower rev rate will play in between 5 and 10, and even up around 5, which is I played actually right at 5 from the very get-go. Lots of multiple angles. It's one of the advantages of the sole pattern. There's really no style that's shut out on this pattern at all, and you can hit it from a variety of different ways.
Well, they're just doing the introductions here as we wait to get started for score, and we'll go through the players with you here. The number 1 seed is Venezuela, the Marcano sisters, Karen and Alicia. They averaged 240 in qualifying. They're going to bowl USA's number 2 double squad, number 4 seed, Kelly Kulik and Missy Parkin. And the other semifinal is going to have USA 1, Stephanie Nation and Shannon O'Keefe taking on Australia, the number 3 seed, Anne-Marie Putney and Carol Giannotti, who, by the way, the Australians shot .497 the last game to get in to the semifinals. So you can't turn your back on the veterans, which is what the Australians are. They are the veterans in this semifinal, and so they have been here, done that a million times before.
Lucas, there's no doubt there's no shortage of star quality here in the finals. You have great names across the board. There are no strangers to world medal play or world success on tour or anything else right now. Putney and Giannotti have been around, it seems like, for a decade and a half, almost 2 decades now, and obviously you have Bellender and Kulik, O'Keefe and Nation, who have had much success on the tours. And the Marcano sisters, maybe you don't know as well if you only followed the tours, but the Marcano sisters have been worldwide powers for several years now. Very talented. Obviously, the score they put up today was magnificent, crushing anything that we did yesterday on the same pattern. See Stephanie Nation there with the strike, leading off. These one-game matches, the Marcano sisters and Nation O'Keefe bowled this morning, and so they're just kind of getting back into the flow of things, whereas the second USA team and the Giannotti basically just come off a little 25-minute, half-hour break here, and maybe a little looser coming right into this match. So getting up to a quick start will be pretty key, especially against those teams that have been cold.
And let's just recap what the format is here. It's semifinals are a one-game match, and both players from each country will add their score together for the total. And the winners of the matches advance to the gold medal match immediately following. So it'll take a few frames for things to kind of settle in. You saw that last night, Chris, when you were bowling in the men's doubles semifinals. It takes a couple of frames for things to settle in and get a feel for things, doesn't it?
It really can. I do expect the scores on 51 and 52 to be much higher than on 55 and 6, to be honest, though. Lane 55 is pretty tricky. It's really tight down lane compared to 56 and compared to a lot of the lanes here at Sunset Station, which tend to have a little bit more friction off the gutter. So the winner on this right pair will most likely be the team that can figure out the left lane. And Team USA 1, as the higher seed, chose to start in that lane and not finish on it. Obviously, they've used some of their experience to figure that out. See Kelly Kulik there getting off to a fast start with a strike as well.
As we get settled in here in this semifinal round, we would ask that you please get on Facebook and Twitter and let everybody know that you're watching this live coverage here on Bowl TV. You can send them to bowl.com or bowl.com/world 2013, the official website of the WTBA World Championships. Here's Anne-Marie Putney. That one's a little high. Pulled that one, leaves the 3-6.
Well, and that is a worldwide start right there. The first shot and second shot sometimes, when you're a little bit uptight, will be left to target, and that's no surprise there. Ooh.
Well, Alicia Marcano starts with a 4-9 split. The Marcanos, for all their success, have never won a gold medal at the World Championships. So they are looking to make some history here.
Have
for
they
themselves.
medaled?
They have won one doubles medal. It was Alicia 10 years ago, a bronze medal in the doubles.
It's a little bit surprising, actually.
Yeah.
They've been very successful, and particularly in the zones.
Yeah, for sure.
They've been very, very successful and had no trouble keeping up with the U.S., Mexico, Colombia, which the traditional powerhouses, and Canada in the American zones.
Well, the World Championships doesn't come along too often, so you don't get a lot of chances to win those medals, and so they are hoping to take advantage of it today.
And very much a sprint. A 4-9 early, that's a brutal start. It's something where a quick start can very often determine.
And I expect that match with the Venezuelans is going to progress pretty slowly because the Marcano sisters tend to take their time and
they have one pace, and it's pretty much glacial.
Yeah, exactly.
That pair will be probably 2 frames behind the other pair by the time we're done, but that will probably not reflect the total score.
It's a great shot.
There we go.
Usually you see after a couple of frames, people start to settle in, the nerves kind of calm down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was huge yesterday that John got off to a good start and was able to make, he did bring 10 in the first frame, but early on his rhythm was fantastic. And so I thought that keyed up our whole victory. I had a tough time getting lined up on the left lane, but he was no trouble at all. Him and John Janowitz actually were fantastic early on in these matches. See Carol Giannotti leading the never enviable task of picking up the 3-6-10. And their first 4 shots have all been left to target so far. I would expect them, especially Carol, with all her experience on tour, she'll get loose and start getting them on target here pretty quickly. No one with a double yet inside of either match. Bellender with a couple of 4-pin spares. Kulik with the first opportunity to throw a double.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start here in both matches.
USA 1 on this right pair with strike spare and spare strike. And Putney there doing exactly what we'd expect from this veteran team. They're going to start striking now here pretty soon. She throws a strike. Australia down by 5 pins through 2.5 frames.
Well, Alicia pulls that one, leaves a 3-6-10 in the second, so not a great start here for Alicia Marcano.
No, down 12 now through 1.5 frames. And Stephanie Nation, they're going Brooklyn on this lane. That lane's so tight down lane, that would be the tendency is to really try and shim it up against there, and if you get it inside early on the fresh, it's not going to hold.
We had Stu Williams on yesterday, and he was talking a lot about the topography and the report that they put out on that. Is that something that you guys have studied as well?
We look at them from pair to pair, and it's a generalization. It's great, but you don't take it completely to heart. Ideally, balls going in the lane tell you more than what a graph can tell you, because it doesn't always tell you what the front to back looks like on these same lanes. So, but over time, we're charting pairs as the week goes on, both between our own selves. I keep my own for myself, but we're keeping it as a team, as a group, between the men, the women, and all the pairs. So we have a generalization of how much. And over time, as you hit pairs second and third times, you'll notice that, hey, the left lane is always tighter on this pair. It's tighter down lane here. It hooks more in the front, whatever the case may be. And so you can make some educated guesses, even though they're still guesses. Kelly Kulik there with a double. They'll go up by 22 now through 2 frames.
Yeah, it's the first double we've seen out of either match.
Stephanie Nation up, or Shannon O'Keefe, pardon me. Up on this right pair with a chance to double and put her team up by 13 as well.
Shannon bowled really great in the qualifying, 14.98. Looks pretty good right there.
That's a pretty exceptional score. But she's used to carrying her partner after carrying Bill O'Neill in the Lucy doubles here just a couple weeks ago.
Yes, she did. I saw those scores.
Missy left to target again, and lucky they'll just leave the 4-7. Chance to stay clean here.
I think Missy has played a little farther left of most of the other women today. Every time I saw her, she was playing a little bit further inside.
Her unique axis rotation allows her to sometimes play a little bit inside and get skid where other players can't. Very good shot by Stephanie Nation.
Looks like they're up about 16, 17, somewhere in there.
Yeah, right about 15. But with both Australians up with strikes, they'll have a chance to cut that down.
That's right. And Anne-Marie has a chance to give Australia its first double of the match.
Oh!
It didn't look like it was going to go, but that 9-pin went at the last second. And if there's one thing you can count on the Australians, it's for good celebratory high fives and stuff after strikes. Especially strikes like that. Those are the kinds that can get you pumped up and get you going.
Well, there's no doubt. The good breaks and bad breaks have a tendency to even out, but getting a good break early on in medal round play is a huge bonus.
Shannon pulls that one and leaves the 6-10 on the double. Oh, wow. Went from almost being a 7-10 for Carroll to almost being a strike to being a 10-pin.
Yeah, left lane will be tough. It's just so much tighter down lane. It's hard to get your ball to go through the pins there.
Kelly with the front 3. She trips out the corner 9. So, Chris, it seems to me that you think 55 is going to be the key lane in that match. What do they need to do to get their ball to be able to get through the pins?
Well, and I can only say what I had to do. When I was there, I went high because the ball hooked earlier. It hooks a little bit earlier in the lane, but it's much tighter down lane. So for me, I ended up having to play it tighter than the right lane, but I had to move my eyes one left. So it was like one right with my feet and one left, and actually shim it up into the head pin versus going around it as much as what you could on the right lane, which was pretty good doing that.
And you actually had to make a shot on 55 to win against your teammates in the semifinal yesterday.
I did. I wasn't super excited about it either because that lane had been really tough. I'd 4-pinned, I'd 2-pinned, I'd went high and thrown one like half-pocket strike.
It looked to me like you just give it the high hard one there to...
Well, that's basically what I did. I moved one right and I had one left, and I just basically forced it up at the head pin because I couldn't create angle down lane at all, and when I tried to hook it in the front, it hooked too early.
Well, we'll have to see if they're able to manage that on 55.
Really good shot there. Wow. Flat 10. Now there's a chance to pull her team up to even.
Yep. Still both matches pretty close here.
Yeah, nothing's been decided yet for sure.
We're only in the 5th frame. Oh, and a 4-count split for Stephanie Nation.
Something you don't see very often, especially with the players not really hooking it a lot right now. on the fresh.
Yeah, usually that's a split you see when they're hooking the ball a lot, as Kelly starts at the front 4.
Yeah, and that's a huge swing there because with the Putney split, they had a chance to go up with the strike up. Huge momentum swing there where you're thinking you have a chance to pick up at least 10, maybe 20 or 30, and now you're looking to actually lose pins.
It's a makeable split. I mean, it's hard, but it's makeable.
It is somewhat because there is friction off the gutter, but you have to cut that 3-pin awfully thin, and you also have to still get the 9-pin, which is tough to do unless you have a lot of axis rotation. That's not Stephanie's strength. So
I think she'll give it a run here. Let's see.
4 or 5 would be good.
Looks like she got it left. Wow, she only got 3. That was not a
so that puts her down 8 in the head-to-head matchup with Putney.
So that means they're about even.
Shannon is actually 11 pins ahead, so they still have a 3-pin advantage, but lost an opportunity there for sure.
And Alicia Marcano just can't seem to get comfortable yet.
No, she's struggling a little bit, and for a team that's averaged 240, that is the tricky part about this format is they've dominated all the way through, but now it basically comes down to a 1-game match, and for her it comes down to 6 frames. After bowling 60 of domination, she's got to figure out a way to get loose and get comfortable and get lined up.
Well, in the qualifying today on the fresh, the first game, Venezuela shot a 478. Both U.S. teams were over 460, and the Australians shot 370. So I don't know if that tells us anything, but
Chris and I were surprising. Carol, as a veteran of the tour, was great at dominating in the later portions of blocks in qualifying and in match play. So a little surprising to get off to that slow start.
So here's Stephanie trying to rebound after that split, leaves a 10-pin. Right now, in our other match, as Missy steps up, Kelly Kulik is really the one that's dominating this match with the front 4. And Missy's trying to put a double on the board here in the 5th.
Big shot for USA.
Not a great shot by Missy. Pulls it inside, leaves a 4-6-10. And Marie trying to rebound here. It's a good shot.
Rebounding nicely from that split she left earlier.
Marcano sisters need to get something going. That'll do it right there.
Well, Karen's bowling extremely well right now. Not missed the pocket yet. Had the 1 flat 10 there in the middle and the early 9 count as well. But
Jason and I were talking about the Marcano sisters earlier today and how they can really feed off the momentum. They tend to be very emotional players and can really feed off each other. So if they get a couple of strikes going together, that could lead to something big for them.
Well, if you were to stereotype, the Latin countries typically are very good at taking advantage of the positive aspects. Again, you see Giannotti on that left lane make a pretty good shot and not able to get her ball to go through the pins quite enough to knock out the corner pins. Last time the 10 pin, this time the 7 pin.
Alicia, that looks right. Oh, look at it come back for a strike.
A shot like that where you get it a little bit right at target and it makes it back can sometimes be the key to loosening you up and making you feel comfortable.
O'Keefe with a double.
Yeah, and that one wasn't at her target either. She was fortunate there.
And that extends the lead a little bit for Team USA. Kelly trying to keep it going. She's got it going right now.
Yeah, she's taken over a little bit.
Kelly helping make up for that open frame by Missy in the 5th.
You saw that yesterday in the doubles too with Posse on that pair. Throw a bunch of strikes and basically take over this doubles match all by himself by shooting 268. And you have a partner like Osku, you don't need that much, but it's nice to have that kind of help.
And Marie Putney trying to get a double here. Pull Australia a little closer.
Great shot. pulls them back to a single count difference.
There's a double, and here come the Marcano sisters.
Missy with 85 in the 5th, basically matching up with Alicia Marcano.
Good shot by Steph.
USA 2 having about a 30-pin lead on that match still.
That would be Parkin and Kulik. Missy looked like a better shot from her. Not really hooking the ball a whole lot there.
No, I think she hasn't really changed her target much. She just started throwing it harder. Oh, and a big mistake by Carol Giannotti there.
We'll see if Shannon can step up and take advantage of it right after we watch Alicia. This is a big shot for the Venezuelans right
then
here.
To get back in the match, she needs this shot to do the right thing.
They feed off momentum. Needs to hook. Oh, no.
Wow.
Comes up light.
I think that's pretty close to what she was trying to do on that lane, actually.
Yeah,
making a little move off the shot before, which went a little high. And O'Keefe taking advantage of the Giannotti split.
You see that so often when an opponent throws a split and then you step up and they just throw a strike right at them.
And these one-game matches, there are huge moments in there where you have an opportunity to pick up 30 or 40 pins, and if you can take advantage of those, it often keys to victory.
Kelly's got the front 6 now. So this is turning into the Kelly Kulik show right now in that match.
She's gone into Zerbinski mode.
That's right. Let's see if Alicia can make a run at this here. That's going to be tough.
Got a hook.
Yeah. She missed it to the right. So an open frame for Alicia. And Parkin and Kulik have a pretty big lead in that match. Big shot here for Anne-Marie. Working on a double. Yeah, snaps the 10 out. Trying to hold her teammate up.
I'm actually surprised at how far left they are. Most of the guys did not play that far left. Actually, Zerbinski was one of the few that actually played in the track. He and Posse both did on the fresh. Most everyone else played right of that early. Making it look pretty good, though.
Well, the light at the end of the tunnel is getting dimmer and dimmer for the Venezuelans if she doesn't strike here. Oh, that might just about do it right there. That's tough. Especially with the way that Kelly's looking, that's very challenging for the Venezuelans right now. Nation looking for a double, 8th frame. She got real lucky on that one. That could have been a 210 real easy.
Yeah, that's a huge break.
Missy.
Much better shot there.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a little right of what she was trying to do.
Well, she's went high the last 3 times in that lane, and that one she actually threw where she wanted to, and
it didn't
hook. Well, you saw Alicia do the same thing on that lane, throw what looked like appeared to be a very good shot, and at 210, the 2.578 won't be much easier to make.
Nope. But Parkin's riding on the coattails of Kelly Kulik right now. That's the good thing for them.
With the Marcano Open, this is kind of house money here. I have a chance to make a difficult spare, but if she can make it, she'll actually make up pins for the frame, and if not, no harm done with a lead already.
4 in a row for O'Keefe as they have really taken control of that match.
A couple of doubles pick up 20 pins in that frame.
Yeah, good spare.
Wow. Can't make a living shooting that one too often, but that's an excellent conversion.
So it looks like Nation and O'Keefe are up 40 on Putney and Giannotti with 2 frames to go.
There she goes.
Yep, on the board there with a strike. Another strike for Anne-Marie, cuts it to 30 temporarily.
Not going anywhere.
Still within striking distance here. Kelly Kulik looking to continue her string of strikes. Looks good. Yep. Front 7 for Kulik.
The Australians on a possible 4:51 is what they have left. Team USA right now at a 4:35 pace. This one's not over yet.
No, definitely not. Well, that pushes the lead back to 40.
Yep, and that puts them on a 4:45 pace. Essentially forcing the Australians to strike on every shot now.
Well,
which they've done. They've got themselves in position where they have a chance going in the 10th frame.
That's all you can do. I think if Shannon strikes here, though, it makes it real tough. But
well,
it is doubles.
It puts them to where they would just have to have good count marks on both sides, but misses have not always been something you can make.
Ball change for Missy there? I think so.
She might have tried something a little different there.
Big shot. Oh, wow. Puts him back up by 40 going into the 10th.
It's very difficult. They're about 45 pins up now. Need good count and spares, and that will put the Marcano sisters just about.
Yeah, that might be the nail.
Yeah. You hate to see this to anybody who's led the qualifying. It's certainly one of the downfalls of a format to where you can qualify first and still get the bronze medal.
Well, let's see if Kelly can take advantage of it here. Front 7 looking for front 8. And you just knew that Kelly was going to step up and throw another one as soon as she left that
She's
split.
really not the person you want to see get lined up against you.
Yep.
She's
and I think that match is all but over. Huge shot here for Anne-Marie Putney in the 10th. Really, you got to have it here in a 10-pin. So that really diminishes their chances here. It
brings their max score to 430, and with USA, they basically need a mark now in the 10th frame.
Oh, it's starting to shape up like it's going to be an all-USA final.
Which probably will not please our worldwide audience so much.
Well, we don't control who bowls in the matches. We just broadcast them. Stephanie a little light on that one. Lucky that she broke up what could have been a split on a shot like that. Leaves the 2-8. But
basically,
it looks like
any kind of mark at this point puts them in pretty good shape. Actually, we'll lock them out if she can make one of the two of them needs a mark.
It was a great run this morning by the Marcano sisters. We had a good look at their last 2 games of qualifying, and it was just so impressive how they fed off each other and made big shot after big shot this morning. And so it was a great, great performance by them in qualifying, and I'm sure they're going to be awfully disappointed that they didn't make it into the gold medal match. But knowing them, they'll still smile and be happy to know that they brought Venezuela at least 1 medal so far in this tournament.
Well, it is a performance to be recorded for sure. It's a dominating type performance. One of the biggest scores ever shot in the doubles, I would have to think.
Yeah, it missed the record by 21 pins. So it was pretty close to a record.
They beat any score the guys put up yesterday by almost 100 pins.
About 220 for Anne-Marie Putney.
Yeah, it'll be difficult to look back. There's just one a couple of early shots when she was still kind of getting comfortable, and then one miscue in the 5th frame cost her, a potential 250 game versus a 220 game.
Wow. Greek church for Missy. Good thing that Kelly Kulik has the front 8 for them, because otherwise that would be an ugly match. Striking on the fill for Nation. She shoots 201. And you were right. They're going to finish about a frame and a half ahead of maybe a frame.
History does have a way of repeating itself.
Yes, it does. Carol with a
Giannotti
strike.
with the strike. She can shoot a potential 210, which give their team 430. O'Keefe is already on 248 pace. Basically any kind of count here at all is plenty.
Yep, that's right. Oh, and Missy takes 4 of the 5 on the Greek Church.
Putting her at 153 through the 9th frame. Karen Marcano's got 152 in the 8th on a strike, a potential 212, but unfortunately.
There's enough for the win for Nation and O'Keefe right there. They're going to bowl for the gold medal.
Oh.
Ring 10.
See it in that way. She had a potential 215, which would have given the Marcano sisters a chance to shoot 427. But with Kelly on a 260 pace already, 440 is about the least they could shoot at this point.
Here's Kelly with the front 8. Comes up a little light, and oh, look at it go! And a curtsy to the crowd. Front 9.
Breaks have a way of evening themselves out, though. I don't know that she wouldn't have whether went ahead and left the 2-pin or 2-8 there instead of getting that break.
Well, it's time to get on Facebook and Twitter and let everybody know that Kelly Kulik has the front 9 right now here live on Bowl TV.
Carol Giannotti finishing with 210, and Australia with a very respectable 430 score on this pair. But Shannon O'Keefe has basically taken over this match by herself. She needs to fill the 10th frame for 268, giving her team a 469 score. Should be enough to beat Australia's 430. Oh. They've gotten just a little bit of breakdown there. She bowled so good the first 6 frames of this match. Karen Marcano, that is. And there's Shannon O'Keefe's 268.
469 to 430. The U.S. wins by 39 pins against Australia to lock up a spot in the gold medal match.
Park in there with the strike.
So the only drama left here in the semifinals is Kelly with the front 9. It's going to be an all-U.S. affair for the gold medal. But a great day for Australia and for Venezuela, as they both will share the bronze medal. And the medal ceremony will be coming up immediately following the medal round after the championship match. There's a double for Missy.
Well, it seems O'Keefe and Kulik are very well lined up, so it may very well come down to whether Parkin or Nation does a better job of getting lined up on this final pair. I found the finals pair to hook a little bit more off the gutter than certainly the right pair. I couldn't compare it to the left pair.
So if you're just tuning in, we're waiting for Kelly Kulik to finish up here. She's going for a potential 300 game. 3 in a row for Missy to close it out.
And once again, congratulations to the Marcano sisters. They dominated in qualifying today, being the overall leader. And
Alicia,
probably the first siblings to actually lead
maybe
a world event. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with a 374 finish. But you can't underestimate the performance they put on today. It's unfortunate their low game came in this medal round. in a day where they averaged 240 throughout the day, and seemingly caught a difficult pair for them.
Here goes
Shoot
Kelly.
374 in the final.
Front 9. Good shot.
Hard to understate the dominance she's put on women's bowling in the last 5 years. U.S. Open victories, Queens victories.
So Kelly Kulik here in the semifinals with the front 10. Kulik and Parkin will bowl for the gold medal next, right here live on Bowl TV. Congratulations to Venezuela's Alicia and Karen Marcano as they take a bronze medal. A great day for them. They'll be disappointed, but still a great effort against a tough field. So it's going to be USA versus USA for the gold. Should be a great gold medal match. It's coming up right after we finish this game. Here's Kelly Kulik with the front 10. This crowd is on the edge of its seats. It's pretty smooth. Oh yeah, there's another one. 11 in a row for Kelly Kulik, and she's one away. We have not had a 300 game in the women's division yet. And we're on the cusp. Chris, how impressive is it that she could potentially shoot 300 on a pair where nobody else shot 200? That's pretty impressive.
She is and has been, like I said, for the last 5 years in a class pretty much by herself.
It's real quiet in here. Everybody's got their cameras out, getting video of this final shot. Kelly Kulik going for a perfect game here in the semifinal. They've already advanced. Can she finish it off? Looks good. 300! Kelly Kulik gets it done! And it's going to be an all-U.S. final. How about that? A perfect game in the semifinal for Kelly Kulik. Live on Bowl TV. And they're celebrating like they've won the gold. You know why? Because they have. The U.S. will take home the gold no matter what. But we will find out who will take the gold in just about 10 minutes. They're going to have 10 minutes of practice, then we'll get started. Pretty impressive, huh, Chris?
It's really tremendously impressive. Like you said, the highest scoring team all day long, averaging 240 all the way through and not having a 200 game on the final, and she shoots 300.
Here's the replay of the last shot here as Kelly Kulik finishes off the perfect game.
And she knew early that this one was really good.
I mean, if we had all 12 of those shots back to back to back, I bet they would all look pretty close to the same.
I don't think there was anyone that I would say would be a particularly lucky shot in there.
Yeah,
she might have went half pocket in there at some point, but honestly, I don't remember even doing that.
So 483 to 373 was the final score, and coming up next, we will have the gold medal match. In the women's doubles, it will be Team USA's Missy Parkin and Kelly Kulik taking on their teammates, Stephanie Nation and Shannon O'Keefe. They will get 10 minutes of practice on the pair, and then we will get started with the gold medal match. So stay tuned. Back in just a few minutes here live on Bowl TV with the gold medal match.
And that's not nearly enough. Because when the place is quiet, Randy's voice is really loud. Not to be me, but right of, he was a little bit right of John. Rosé was probably in that zone. Once John got lined up, he was basically silly. They couldn't believe where the ball was. They did. They played far to the right, and they didn't want to pick up. I think he could go this way, and then
You can probably pan a little bit to the right. You want a scoreboard on the other one?
All right, practice wrapping up here. We're ready to get started with our gold medal match. It's an all-USA final between Missy Parkin and Kelly Kulick, taking on teammates Shannon O'Keefe and Stephanie Nation. So the U.S. going to take the gold and the silver. Australia and Venezuela shared the bronze medal. Would appreciate it if you would help us out, spread the word, let everybody know that you're watching the women's doubles gold medal match here on Bowl TV. They're getting geared up and ready to go.
Despite the fact that it is a USA versus USA match, I wouldn't necessarily call it a friendly.
Definitely not. We saw that in your match, and by the way, I'm Lucas Wiseman, Chris Barnes is here. We saw that in your match yesterday where you and Zerbinski had to pull your teammates, Janowitz and Fagan, and it looked like it was still pretty heated. You guys
But nobody
wanted
wants to
win.
lose.
Exactly. You're
I
here
mean,
to win.
it's just, you know, Tommy and I are the best of friends, but we bowl on TV, and there's no, for those 30 minutes, there's no love lost.
Yeah.
We bowl because we love to compete, and these two teams love to compete as well, and they love to win and or hate to lose, whatever it is that motivates them. But nonetheless, even when you're bowling for your country, you still want to perform your best in this moment.
Well, Kelly Kulick bowled a perfect game in the semifinal. That was the highlight of the day so far. But now we will determine our gold medal winner. And I tell you what, this has to feel a little like redemption for the U.S. women's team after they performed so poorly in the singles event and had a high finish of 23rd. I think they really were probably pretty disappointed with how things went in the singles event. And to come in here and go 1-2 in the doubles probably has to feel pretty good.
Well, it certainly helps, but the fact is that when they go back and bowl on that short pattern in a couple of days, that it will still be the same short pattern that they struggled on before. And the real redemption will happen if they can go out and perform at a level that's with the leaders on that pattern.
And we'll find that out on Saturday in the first round of the trios event.
Lucas, and this is what we saw in practice, is really Shannon and Kelly are both lined up again like they were on their first pairs, and look pretty comfortable. But Missy looks like she has moved further right and has a little better ball reaction. Stephanie has moved a little further left and actually looks like she has a little worse ball reaction than what she had the first game. It's going to be very difficult for O'Keefe and Nation to keep up here. If Kelly keeps doing what she's doing, it will be nearly impossible anyway. But
Well, Parkin needed to make a move after that semifinal because what she was doing wasn't working so well. So maybe a slight adjustment to the game plan here for this gold medal match.
when you had two choices, I feel like, I certainly felt like yesterday that where they're at, the pattern starts to get very flat in between second and third arrow. And if you angle it the right way through the front, obviously there's hold. Zerbinski had that. Posse had that. I did not in that particular area, and I think the people that roll it a little sooner do not in that area. And the moves are either you have to move left and try and create some hold through the front, or you have to move to the right and play some of that shim. There's plenty of hook at 5. I would think both players would want that struggled in that first match would move closer to 5, 6, 7 than trying to move into the track where I think it's flatter.
So just to make sure everybody's aware of the format, it's a doubles gold medal match. So the two players on each team combine their total for the doubles total, and it's just a one-game match to determine the winner. And Chris, you've bowled against your teammates in situations like this before. Does it loosen up the arm swing a little bit, knowing that, you know, you're going to take the gold, your country's going to take the gold no matter what?
Well, actually, there is some a little bit of comfort in that knowledge that your team is going to win either way. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, no one particularly remembers who finishes second.
That's true.
And while the USA will get the medal, only 2 will get to take home the gold, and those 2 will be the ones that are remembered for it.
Things already seem a little less tense than they were in the first match, for sure, though.
It's early. And this is a group of 4 women who compete both at a super high amateur level and have competed for the biggest majors in women's professional bowling. So,
and I can promise you that this means just about as much to them as any of those wins or titles they've ever had.
While the smiles and personality might hide it a little bit better than the guys do, I believe they want to win every bit as badly.
There aren't a lot of people who get to bowl and represent their country in international competition, and I have never done it, so I can't really talk about it, but it's my understanding from talking to you guys that it doesn't get much better than getting on that podium and hearing your anthem and earning a gold medal, does it?
It's one of the things you enjoy most.
It's not about the
bowling,
money. It's
period.
not about.
Well, obviously not. It's much less
about,
money than
yeah,
winning a world championship or a U.S. Open or a tournament of champions. But the feeling of winning an event for your country is every bit as significant as winning one of those majors for yourself, and in no small part because of the people you represent, not only on your own team, but back at home.
Yeah.
And the people you've bowled league with and you've bowled and practiced with, and pro-ams and clinics and all kinds of things, even junior leagues.
Well, it's early, but Parkin and Kulik have amassed a 20-plus pin lead here after a couple of frames after the open by Shannon O'Keefe in the second frame. Certainly seems like Parkin and Kulik have got the early edge here.
Uh-oh.
That's trouble.
Yeah.
Left off her hand. And you even heard people in the crowd say, uh-oh.
Yeah.
When she let that one go.
It's quite possible lanes are a little bit different today, but I'd certainly like to see both her and Stephanie move closer to 5, 6, 7 than in around 10, 11, 12, where it seems like they have to be close to perfect.
It's a good shot by Steph for a double.
Which that shot was.
Yep. So the World Championships, this is just the second event. We're wrapping up the doubles here at the World Championships. We've got a lot of bowling left. We've got trios starting tomorrow here on Bowl TV. No medals awarded the next 2 days. We'll just be trios qualifying, but our next medal round will be Sunday night right here, or Sunday afternoon right here on Bowl TV. So if you want to check the schedule out, you can do so at bowl.com/world 2013, and we cover every qualifying round and every semifinal and final here on Bowl TV.
Double by Nation, and O'Keefe getting back on a strike here. If Kulik were to miss, that would give them an opportunity to crawl right back into this match.
Well, Kulik hasn't missed in the medal round yet. 300 the first game and 2 here to start. She's showing no signs of backing down here.
Front 15's a pretty good start in anything.
I don't care what pattern you put out there. You start front 15 in a situation like this. That's pretty impressive. And it is. This pattern may look or seem easy as we take a look at the replay, but it's still a sport pattern, and it's still a challenging lane condition. It's nowhere near what you would bowl on in your house shot back home.
You had one of the best female bowlers in the world on that last pair, plus the Marcano sisters, who were the leaders in dominating and qualifying, and none of them shot 200.
Yep.
And Kelly shot 300.
Which makes it even more impressive.
And that makes Missy Parkin with 68 in the third on a strike.
So they're still leading by a Pretty decent early margin. Parkin and Kulik are.
It's basically 30 pins right now. Chance to pull it to within 20.
Looks like she pulled it a little bit, but it holds.
You're a little hard one there. Down to 20 pins. Stephanie Nation with 50 in the second on a double. She's actually 12 pins ahead of Missy. But Kelly is 32 pins ahead of Shannon.
Take a look at the replay there. You can see the reaction from Stephanie. I think she knew that she got away with one there. Let's see if Kelly can stay on a roll. Looks a little left, but it doesn't matter. Still strikes.
She's got it matched up just about perfect. You get match up with execution.
Kelly might be able to kick the ball down the lane for a strike right now.
Well, I guarantee you they're not that easy, but you know you got it going when your bad shot is a good bad shot.
That's right.
There's still 85 percenters.
She's had a couple of shots that were questionable, but not too many.
Not that I can think of. Here's a great rebound from, remember, O'Keefe in the second frame got one to the right, and it wiggled down lane. This one, much, much better. Gets her on a double. Still a 20-pin match
pins
here. Everybody on strikes.
And everybody on a double but Missy. Or at least a double, I should say. So the fifth frame here for Parkin. And our women's doubles gold medal match needs to hook a little bit. And leaves the 10-pin.
Yeah, I think that's actually the good shot for her. That little zone between 7, 8, 9 there just needs to move a little bit right, and it'll climb up the hill from there. The thing to remember is on these fresh patterns, they've had 10 minutes of practice, but this is when the lanes carry down the most. So there'll be some changes as as this game goes on. Just watch the 6-pin, second one from the right. Just gets pushed over.
Great shot by Stephanie. 4 in a row for her after starting with a spare.
And that cuts the lead down to 10.
10, yeah.
Missy being on a strike doesn't lose any count there, so now the 10-pin match.
If you're on Twitter, I want to remind you to follow WTBA on Twitter at World Bowling. They've just started their Twitter feed and appreciate your help in joining the cause at World Bowling on Twitter. Follow USBC at USBC. Chris, you're on Twitter, but you're not terribly active. You sometimes are on there, but you're getting better at it,
It's a little sporadic. When there's more bowling, I'm more active, and when there's less, then I'm watching baseball games and football games at home a little less.
Here's Shannon. And there's a triple for Shannon O'Keefe. For people who want to follow you on Twitter, what's your Twitter handle, Chris?
Chris Barnes _PBA.
There you go. Chris Barnes _PBA if you want to follow Chris. And I'm at Lucas _Wiseman. Kelly Kulik. She's at strikes a lot. Well, not really, but she definitely is striking a lot today. She's thrown 16 strikes in a row here in the medal round.
That was good too.
Wow. Front 5. Does she ever miss?
Yeah, easy.
I mean, really, when Kelly gets into a groove and she starts feeling it like this, she is tough to beat. So she's now thrown 17 in a row.
And it's a 10-pin match now. And no matter what Missy does, Stephanie will have a chance to pull this match to even.
So Missy's the only one not stringing strikes right now. Trying to give her partner a little help, and she goes with a strike.
I do think she made the better move, but right now Stephanie has made fantastic shots where she's playing there. Missy had the one error, and then the half 10 there on the right lane. Been a very well executed match. O'Keefe with the only other miscue with a washout, and then she wrapped the head pin around the 10 on the spare.
For
Gotta
5
go.
in a row. Oh, a little love tap on the 7th. And that should even it up.
Well, she seems to have matched it up now. She got one in on that lane, and she got it right. She's got a little bit of that same reaction that Shannon and Kelly have got from in there. So
And that evens up the match. It's a great match so far, early on. Kelly Kulik now trying to keep the string alive. Looks good. Another one.
yeah, just in such good rhythm right now. You saw John Stravinsky do the same thing yesterday. He just got in rhythm, and every shot seemingly coming off stand smooth, perfectly balanced at the foul line and on target. It's only a matter of carry, but it doesn't look like there's any way where it's not going to when it comes off your hand that clean.
18 strikes in a row for Kulik, dating back.
Another good one there.
Oh, wow. How did that not strike?
Wow.
That was
Chance to pull
brutal.
her team back to dead even. Now through no faults of her own, down by 11 pins.
Here's a look at the replay. Let's see what happens on this one, because
Just
hard to wrap my mind around
watch
how
the
that
ball
didn't strike.
and the 5 pin. It just chops it straight back.
Yep, just drove so fast through the pocket that it missed the 8 pin.
The only true tap in bowling.
So that means that Parkin and Kulik now have a slight lead. I think 11 pins.
11 pins now. Parkin with a chance to get up there first and expand on this. This is a big shot for their team. She hasn't struck on this lane since the second frame. The first frame.
This would extend the lead to 21 if she were to strike here. And it did not make it all the way across the deck. It stopped halfway across.
Looks like something got in the way of the scout. So there will be an opportunity now for Stephanie to knock this back down to a 1-pin game. Kulik on a double. This is almost a must-strike situation already.
Stephanie Nation, 7th frame. It's right. Look at it come back, and
Oh.
Steph sends a messenger. Hello.
Big bird dog. I'm going to throw whatever ball that is.
That was a good-looking strike right there. That's what we like to call a sexy strike.
I'll just leave that to you. Uh-oh. Oh,
Trouble
no.
here. And that is not good.
No. It's an open.
They're going to have
Ball
to
went in the
correct it.
gutter before it picked up the 10 pin.
You're not allowed to do that. Oh, and a pocket 7-10 for Shannon O'Keefe.
Stone 8, pocket 7-10. That's a brutal back-to-back. And not that it should be a big deal, but when it's this quiet, they were making the score correction while she was walking up there too. You could hear the monitor in the background as he was inputting the changes.
Well, nothing can be done about that now, but
No, and she didn't say anything or make any mention of it either, so
yeah. Just put the ball in the pocket.
good
so.
concentration on her part.
Yep. Kelly with the front 6. Well, if that struck, then I was going to tell Kelly she should go buy some lottery tickets because that
Actually,
was a little right.
It was a little right. If she'd have caught it at the bottom, it probably still would have made it back. But
What a great run.
pretty
18
amazing.
in a row.
The front 18.
Man, but that split comes at a bad time.
It really does come at a bad time. It's a chance for them to really put the hammer down. And after Missy's open, 18 in a row, and they could be down.
An open frame by 3 of the 4 players in the 7th. So it looks like a 12-pin lead for Nation and O'Keefe. Or maybe it's a 2-pin lead. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, 12 pins, I believe, at least.
Let's see. 22
22, there you
with
go.
the strike. It's 12 right now. You're
Gotcha.
correct. It's
Okay.
12 right now with a possibility to go to 40 to 22 as Stephanie has the only strike up right now. And
Not a great shot
that
there by
was an
Missy.
unforced error there.
Things starting to get a little interesting here.
That shows you how quickly things can turn upside down here. It looked like Stephanie probably, by practice, certainly had the worst ball reaction of the 4. And now she has a chance to put her team in the driver's seat. 8th frame.
Go up by more than 20 pins. There it is. Shreds the rack again.
22-pin lead, and now if Missy doesn't pick this up, it turns into a 33-pin lead. Excellent shot making by Nation.
And she does cover it up. So the spare in the 8th by Parkin.
Well, and much easier than that 10-pin sitting over there all by itself. Makes the always difficult 310. Really keeps her team in play here. 22 pins, 2.5 frames to go.
O'Keefe,
Good
8th
shot
frame.
there.
Yep, she gets a strike as well. As we wrap up the 8th frame here with Kelly Kulick on the approach.
So you have Stephanie Nation with a possible 290. You have Shannon O'Keefe with a possible 224. So 514 is their max score. Missy can shoot 216. Oh.
10 pin for Kelly.
And for Kelly, that makes her max score 256. So 472 is their max score.
So right now it's Nation and O'Keefe in the driver's seat with a couple of frames to go.
Still 22 pins at the moment, but with the O'Keefe Nation tandem both on strikes, an opportunity to go up by 42 and nothing that Parkin and Kulick can do about it.
As we watch Kelly shoot the spare, we'll remind you that really the flagship event of the World Championships is the team competition. And the team semifinals for the women and the men will take place Thursday evening. The men's and women's team finals will take place Friday afternoon. So be sure to mark your calendar to watch those. Those are by far the most exciting events we have in the entire tournament. We've had some great, great finals in past tournaments.
That's a great point, Lucas. As much as the singles and doubles are very personally satisfying, the team event is really what we're all here to try and accomplish.
Missy throws a
Good
strike
shot
in
there. Really in a must-strike situation. Down with 22, could possibly be 42. They have to strike out to put any kind of pressure on O'Keefe and Nation.
Take a look at the replay on this strike by Missy.
Right up the 9th board. Really just kind of freezing it in there now. She's got the 2 a little bit right of that, which looks like the better place to play, but then neither one of them struck.
Nation to continue the string of strikes, and she does a wobbling 10 just like Kelly did the frame before. So that's big for Parkin and Kulik. Had Nation struck there, it gets real tough.
It really
for
does.
them.
Now there's
That's
not
a big
only
break.
to stop the string and doesn't add another, get it to 32, but it gives Parkin a chance to cut it to 12.
Yep. And a big, big shot here for Kelly Kulik. Really needs to set herself up for the 10th with a strike here in the 9th. Looks pretty solid.
Shot there.
Look at the 10, stay up
Yeah,
again.
you see just a little bit of carry down from what we had earlier on in the match. Ball was snapping up off that spot, and the 6 was kicking the 10 out. Not too much now.
Once again, lots of coverage left for you here on Bowl TV of the World Championships. We hope that you will join us all the way through next Saturday, or I should say next Friday, when we wrap things up here at the World Championships. Complete schedule at bowl.com/world2013. We live stream every moment here at the World Championships.
Big shot for Shannon O'Keefe after going stone 8 and 7-10. Be a little redemption for her here to throw a strike and put our team in a great position going in the 10th frame.
I think they go up, 32 with a strike here? Pulled it. Wow.
Oh.
Got away with it. Gets the 4 out. I think she knows that she got away with one there, huh?
Well,
Looked like it
her
was a little
and
in.
Kelly have both been able to throw that shot, and that's been the key to. They've been able to create one extra board at their target to the left of what everybody else has been able to create. 32 pins going into the 10th now. An absolute must strike situation every ball for Kulik and Parkin. .461 is their max score.
Won't take much for Nation and O'Keefe to get there. Especially with Nation going at 260. Oh, good shot. And that might just about do it here.
O'Keefe and Nation were at a .463 pace. Had she struck out, Nation O'Keefe would have had to throw at least a strike or two somewhere for count at the very least to keep the lead. Now a couple of spares in the 10th frame should do it.
Stephanie Nation, 10th frame. Oh, what a great shot. Rang that 10 pin.
If I can't tell you how good of a game she bowled. After watching her in practice, I would have thought anything above 215 would have been a good game. Made a little bit of adjustment there at the end, evidently, and she's got her ball matching up fantastically, gave herself a little bit of room and made excellent shots all the way through from start to finish. Working with the spare, she will shoot 196 with the strike.
I'm sure Missy's going to be a little disappointed with how she bowled here in the medal
for
round.
the most part, it wasn't really a bad game. She had the one shot in the 3rd that got away, and a couple of 10 pins, but missing the 10 pin and then the 3-6 after it, and another 10 pin in the 10th. Just
Really
not quite matched up the right way. These finals pairs after the next strip and run just got enough tighter.
And with Stephanie shooting 250 and Shannon potentially shooting 220, it's pretty tough to beat.
480 isn't going to lose too often.
So 193 for Missy. As we wind down here, you can take a look at the scoreboard there. See the score for yourself as we watch Stephanie throw her final shot here. There it is, a strike on the fill, 258.
What a great game by Stephanie Nation.
And I think they're going to hold off on celebrating here.
She doesn't need a lot, but if Kelly were to strike out, Shannon does need some semblance of.
Yeah.
She's basically at the head pin.
Got to show up in the 10th.
Yeah, more than 5 here on the first shot should be enough.
But we got to see what Kelly does here. Great shot. Pretty smooth right there after 3 frames in a row where she was unable to strike. She did that one really well. So here we go, Shannon O'Keefe to lock up a gold medal. That's going to be enough. And there's your winners. Shannon O'Keefe and Stephanie Nation take the gold as the U.S. finishes 1-2 here in the women's doubles at the World Championships. And the national anthem was going to play either way, but now it'll sound a little bit sweeter to Shannon O'Keefe and Stephanie Nation. But a great effort by Team USA here in the women's doubles event. Strike for Kelly Kulik, and it should be noted that Shannon Płachowski and Liz Johnson, they were 1 game away from being in the semifinals as well. They were right in the mix at the end and had a bad game in Game 6, but they were right there. So the USA really stepped up here in the women's doubles and performed very well. Big smile on Shannon's face.
Pretty nice couple of weeks for Shannon O'Keefe. She wins the Lucy doubles a couple of weeks ago, despite Bill O'Neill being her partner. And now with the help of Stephanie Nation, capturing a world gold in the doubles.
Great performance by Kelly Kulik, a 300 and then a 245.
21 out of 24. Quite a run. Quite a run indeed.
There it is, final shot. Shannon O'Keefe, 224. Stephanie Nation, 258. As they defeat their teammates Missy Parkin and Kelly Kulik to win the gold, and I see some tears coming. They trained so hard for this, and to see it become a reality has got to be a dream come true for them. 482 to 438, your final score. Chris Barnes, thanks for sitting in. Good luck in the trios tomorrow. We appreciate you spending some time with us tonight.
Glad to be here. Hopefully tomorrow Bill and I can carry Tommy along a little bit, or maybe he'll start shooting his weight on that short pattern. He had a little trouble making a little adjustment. He had not checked in all 6 balls, so he's going to add another urethane ball tomorrow, and hopefully we make some better adjustments ourselves, and we can be competitive in the trios.
Well, we'll have live collab coverage right here for you on Bull TV starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time here in Las Vegas. Congratulations to Team USA on winning the gold and the silver in the women's doubles, and to Venezuela and Australia for sharing the bronze. We will be back tomorrow. Medal ceremony coming up next. Stand by to hear the national anthem of the United States.
Welcome to the WTBA World Championship 2013 Women's Doubles Medal Ceremony. Here come the medalists now. Presenting the medals in our bronze category, the President of the Venezuelan Bowling Federation, Mr. Agustin de Ferreira. The bronze medalists representing Venezuela, Karen Marcano and Alicia Marcano. And from Australia, Anne-Marie Buckley and Carol Giannotti. Presenting medals in our silver and our gold categories. President of the World 10-Pin Bowling Association, Mr. Kevin Dornberger. Your silver medalists from the United States of America, Missy Parkin and Kelly Hewlett. And your gold medalists from the United States of America, Stephanie Nation and Shannon O'Keefe. this time, please rise for the national anthem of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, your women's doubles medalists. We have a special request. At presidential request, we have one of our participants here who is going to perform, believe this or not, ladies and gentlemen, the MC Hammer Dance. So here we go, Miss Shannon Latief, if you will.